Oui, bonsoir à toutes et à tous. Merci d'être venus ce soir à l'Institut d'études avancées de Nantes. C'est vraiment un grand plaisir de vous accueillir ici et de pouvoir présenter le travail de Shawn, qui se développe à l'intérieur de ce partenariat avec le lieu unique. Et je voulais notamment signaler que c'est pour l'IEA un très grand plaisir d'accueillir un artiste de la qualité de Shawn, qui s'inscrit vraiment dans les problématiques et dans la réflexion que nous menons à l'intérieur de l'Institut, et qui a en plus des qualités humaines exceptionnelles qui ont fait qu'il a très bien pu s'inscrire et dans la promotion de chercheurs et de chercheuses de cette année. Je pense qu'on a tous beaucoup apprécié sa présence et beaucoup aimé son travail également. Je voulais aussi dire un mot à propos de ce partenariat avec le lieu unique qui s'inscrit dans la longue durée déjà, et qui va, que nous espérons aussi dans un futur proche, qui puisse se développer et continuer de se fortifier. Donc, je vais laisser la parole à ma collègue Patricia, qui va finir de présenter Shawn ce soir.
Merci, bonsoir. Je tiens d'abord à excuser Elie Cominis, qui est le directeur du UNIC, qui donc a un truc hyper tendance en ce moment, qui est donc la Covid. Donc il s'excuse, il aurait aimé être présent ce soir, mais malheureusement, voilà. Donc, 2 mots simplement pour dire que le lieu unique, c'est une scène nationale. Il y en a une 70 en France environ. On y fait bon nombre de choses. Peut-être vous connaissez ce lieu, peut-être pas. Il y a des concerts, il y a des spectacles, il y a des expositions, il y a des résidences, il y a des conférences, il y a des festivals, il y a de la littérature, il y a de l'architecture. Enfin, il y a tout ce qu'on aime et ce qui nous intéresse culturellement parlant. Et à l'intérieur de ça, on mène des résidences d'artistes depuis quelques années, des résidences croisées internationales, de différents types, donc des choses qui peuvent être tout à fait comme ça, à l'occasion d'une rencontre, voilà, d'une opportunité, ou des choses qui sont sur une plus longue durée. En l'occurrence, avec le Québec, par exemple, ça fait la 5e année qu'on est en partenariat avec le Québec. Un artiste nantais part là-bas et on accueille un artiste québécois. Et donc là, pour la première fois, on mène cette résidence croisée avec le Taipei Village Artiste. Et donc une première artiste nantaise est partie il y a quelques temps là-bas. Elle s'appelle Julie Maquet. Elle a adoré son séjour à Taïwan, elle s'est régalée. C'est ce qu'elle nous a raconté en tous les cas. Et donc le premier artiste taïwanais devait arriver le 16 mars 2020. Bon, il s'est passé un truc à ce moment-là également. Et donc, ça a été reporté. Et ce premier artiste, ça n'était pas Shawn au départ, c'était un autre artiste. Et finalement, c'est Shawn qui est arrivé. Et on a été tout à fait ravis de l'accueillir. Voilà, donc je vais vous laisser. Shawn va nous présenter son travail. Moi, j'ai juste envie de dire qu'il a un travail d'une très très grande précision. On voit que ses études sur l'architecture sont bien présentes et il a un travail très 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 précis, pointu, autant dans la construction de ses projets que dans sa sensibilité, il me semble. Et donc je te rejoins par rapport à ce que tu viens de dire. Humainement, c'est quelqu'un d'assez exceptionnel et qui a envie de faire entrer cette donne-là dans son travail. Et voilà, et donc c'est super intéressant. On a fait une petite exposition qui a duré 6 jours dans un petit espace au lieu unique au rez-de-chaussée, qui était une espèce de restitution de son travail, ou du temps où il a été là, en tous les cas. Parce qu'il a ratissé la ville, il a ratissé tous les musées. Enfin, bon, il a été très, très curieux de plein de choses. Et puis on a fait un workshop également au salon de lecture avec des amateurs de dessin. Voilà, c'était très, très intéressant. J'ai fait partie du workshop, je me suis régalée. Voilà, et puis donc là, il nous présente plus précisément son travail. Voilà, merci, Shawn. Et merci de nous accueillir, évidemment. Oui, non, je vais finir. Partenariat, excusez-moi, je suis un peu bavarde. Partenariat avec le lieu unique, c'est vrai que ça fait plusieurs années qu'on mène avec l'IEA des rendez-vous qui ont lieu tous les mardis de chaque mois, si ma mémoire n'est pas mauvaise. On mène aussi c'est pareil, selon les opportunités. Là, on fait un festival bientôt qui s'appelle Variation autour du piano, et on a une rencontre, enfin en tous les cas un concert qui va se faire ici dans le cadre du festival. Donc on espère de plus en plus. C'est le premier plasticien en fait qui vient à l'IEA, et donc on est ravis de cette nouvelle collaboration. Merci.
Merci Patricia. Je voulais juste juste préciser qu'il y a une traduction simultanée pour ceux qui en ont besoin. Ici sont les casques, et vous dire aussi que cette activité n'aurait pas pu être possible sans le travail de Mathieu, Soledad et Dimitri, qui n'a pas pu être aujourd'hui ce soir ici parce que il est malade du Covid, mais qui a quand même nous a aidé à la mise en place, a aidé Mathieu et Soledad. Donc je voulais les remercier particulièrement, remercier l'équipe de l'IEA pour avoir réussi à mener à bien cette activité. Shawn?
Thank you for everyone to come. It's truly an honor to stand in here. Thank you for the team in Unique. Helped me a lot to prepare everything. And yeah, thank you for IEA too. I have many fellows here and also new friends here. I glad I made some friends now. So you got a really fancy garden, you know. But actually, today it's my moment to share. I'd like to share with you what I have done for like less like 10 years, slightly more than 10 years. The talk is called Hacker Thinking and My Creations, and I will illustrate more about it. And it's kind of like an adventure story I have made. It's not ended. I hope not. But actually, let me take you to there. And starting from it is my structure. So we are going to talk about myself. It's called Liu Cheng-hsiang. So you can also call me Shawn. And the second one is called Hacker Thinking, because we are talking about hacker thinking and my creations. So right. So we are going back to the core thinking about it. And the third one will be Build a World in the Eye. It's related to my like photography works and also the service I provide by the visual consultant company I owned. And the number 4 is the Cosmos of Thoughts. It's related to my own work. It's like a generative work. And the last part is called Shawn Liu Studio, and talk about how to starting from a person and to become like a group of people and to the society. It's kind of process like that. So yeah, first of all, I'm Cheng-hsiang, and I started in architecture in before, and in London in 2015, and I established a visual consultant company called Shawn Liu Studio in Taiwan 2016, and I started up to do creations like a Build a World in the Eye and also the Cosmos of Thoughts, both of them from 2014. And 2021 seems really important for me because I've become to traveling around world and exploring and try to become like an international artist since then. So it's like a change point of my life. So starting from the ancient time, it's my childhood drawings. Actually, for me, it's I like to deal with like a relationship between nature and also the human being main scenes. So so after that I joined the architecture department. So I studied how to use it as an impression to draw the architecture scenes, and I do many of creations in like a space and like sculpture and also drawings in architecture field. And we do some like space sculpture in there and learning from the different materials in my bachelor time. But sometimes we creating a disaster like this, so who knows, right? Life's hard. So yeah, we sometimes develop like a traditional architecture, and normally I will deal with the relationship between nature and also the artificial scenes since then. So after that, I graduated from university in Taiwan. And meanwhile, actually, the training is so tighty, so I still want to express myself a little bit. So I try to do photography. And also, in meanwhile, I was sending to Japan. This is the skyline of Tokyo. I have been working for a summer as an internship, working for the architecture really well known now. It's called Kengo Kuma. And after that, I went to London, like a newcomer there, and tried to have a master degree in London. Yeah, it's called ballet. It's a school, but it seems not like that. But I met a lot of talents here and make some really nice friends there. And I think there's a place full of talents. And then meanwhile, I try to understand the principle of nature growing, and I writing the code and try to make robotic to build the things like nature. So we creating like a scaffold of for myceliums by 3D printing, by learning the creatures. So yeah, let me illustrate more about it. And also after my graduation, I couldn't find a job. So I just think about maybe I should start one of it. So I started up a company called Shawn Liu Studio. We provide really different kinds of architectural photography. So I do have privilege to go such places. It's called National Palace Museum in Taiwan. It's on the rooftop, super dangerous. It's so windy, but I got a privilege to go there. And also I do some visual creations after that, and I do some exhibitions. And yeah, photography didn't end me here. So I do some teachings in universities. Yeah. And also study about how to print it, how to use another tools to go further in my creations. So I have many different kinds of exhibition places and experience. And now, in 2021, I have been visit Hong Kong and do my solo show there. It's like a 100-year British style houses in Hong Kong. Can you imagine? And this is my solo show, part 1 in Hong Kong. The second one is in a super busy mall, and we changed the corner shot a little bit and become like a small gallery in there. So it's my work called Dark Novula. So it's also made by like a generative art, like a writing code to do things like that. So yeah, and finally I got here. I have been selected by Taipei Art Village. Is kind of a Taiwanese art organization. A bunch of people killing for this, but I think I survived it to the end. So you see me here. Yeah, I'm working in Unique. Thank you for your place. It's really bright. Yeah, thank you. And also I have an opportunity to have an exhibition in Unique. And you know what? Although we open for like 5 days, we have 700 people to visit. It's really nice because I found the city is really hunger for beauty, hunger for art. I think it's really interesting part for me. So let's go back to the topic, right? What's hacker? People think hacker is like this, like everyone should think about it. Actually, hacker is like this. It's like an exhausting laying on the ground. It's like that. So who can be a hacker? So hacker, I captured the caption from the book, and I found actually hacker is trying to find you need to have like a passion to do things. You can be a translator, you can be a gardener, you can be a professor. If you do the passion, do the things you like with passion for a while, then you will become a hacker of it. And this one is I really like because it's from Danny. He's called the co-thinking of hacker. I need to say this one. Asking unconventional questions, provide unconventional solution to the problem, able to say no, and the questionless system works. So, I mean, it's really important to question and try to inventing some kind of way to solve the problem. I think it's really crucial for not only an artist, but a person working in the different fields. So yeah, my core concept is related to artificial and nature. So I'm going to show you the first part. It's called Build a World in the Eye. So it's like a photography, works I done. And asking for unconventional question, right? How to see an architecture. I mean, since I was a student, I traveled around different places of work, and I took lots of photos about it. I found photography is the only way can abstract the architecture into the language to show everyone in the world. I think it's really crucial and really important for me. And let's drive me also to the different places to see the world itself. And can you imagine, this is a slider. They built by British people. They never grow up, so they create something big, kind of like it. So yeah, I went to so many different cities, and I read the world like a book. So I creating a lot of images, like my memory, and in the end, actually, the journey seems slightly changed. This one is in Hong Kong. It's like a super fancy shopping mall, the best one in Hong Kong. Who knows, right? We do the services to supporting the architects and government in Taiwan for like a visual consultant. So these are the works we have done in Taiwan. So we have do like a palace museum, like museums, like architecture. So you can see I also dealing with the artificial and nature things, like creating like a relationship in there. And also we dealing with like a light condition and artificial things, also with that like nature things in there. And we have privilege to visit so many different kinds of places. And you can see there's like a circle on it, on the facade. And also this is the core of it. And this is kind of like use the concept of the cosmos. So it's kind of like a universe, like a style of architecture, and also like a schools. And sometimes you meet the people with really huge smile, and you read the world from a different perspective. Yep. So our team has been serving for architecture for like 6 years, and we can have the opportunity to see the first moment the architecture bursts. So it's really like a privilege to see things from different perspective. And you can see there are so many different kinds of creations. This is a showroom of a resident. So actually they're trying to sell the house, but it's a different way to see it. It's a Japanese artist creating like a stone art and use the space to show it. And this one is like a national performance center in the South Taiwan. It's called Wei Wu Yin Zhongxin, like a Wei Wu Yin Center in Taiwan. It's made by Nathan architecture. And also this is also from my client. It's like a history museum of Taiwan. And now kind of like Heckel buildings in Taiwan. So residents in one. You can see human can do such different things to try to creating like a better environment for human beings to live. I think it's really important. It's a spot like for board waiting spot for people like a port. So actually we have different kinds of service during these couple years. And after that, I began to do like expectations for it, and it's in 2009. And I found I want to express myself more. So it bring me back to Cosmos of Thoughts. What should the future art look like? When people see Apple, like people will think Apple, right? Or Apple. So that's kind of different apples. But for me, because I started about like to analyze the behaviors of creatures in my university time, we do have like a lab. We grow up the myceliums to understand how the species grow up, and after that we can have the ability to creating like a virtual seed. We use the coding like a generative way to do things and make it into like a virtual environment the virtual environment is taking like a 3D scan from the real environment in the Central Park in London. So after that, we have ability to creating different things by like a fabricate by 3D printer or such like that. And also we have different studies by extruding or changing the generative way to do it. And also in my final project in the master course will be this one. It's kind of like a facade, and you can see we use the different kinds of materials and extrude and build it like it's human built, but you can see the quality of it is kind of like between the nature and artificial. And also this is the Finland architecture. He think the best way to express architecture is the kind of the nature form itself. And this is my graduate exhibition in London. So we have a privilege to go New York to visit Microsoft and have an announcement there. So I guess life is sometimes you don't know what happened next. And also because I doing the drawings for the project a lot. So actually I found I can use the drawings to express myself a little bit. So this is my first drawings of the cosmos of thoughts. And let's reflect to the artificial drawings. This one is made by AI. They use the big data to generate the portrait drawings from machines. So it didn't exist, this one. And they sold it in a fortune 2018. It's kind of the way to do the drawings now. But for me, I think maybe we should collaborate with machine and try to bring the new stuff and try to creating like a universe, because we can take the advantage from human being and also the machine, and we could generate something really huge, really nice. So that's my starting point of work, and I starting in a different concepts like this. It's like at that moment I studied about India. So series of legends. So it's the way to express like a living death. So it's kind of like reflecting to everything I want to express. It's just become my language. Just like this one, it's like a force of two things. So when in physics theories, when two things exist in the world, then they will have like a certain relationship. It's kind of like a force or like anything. They can share the gravity or things like that. So I do use the different kind of concepts into my drawings, and also because my creations actually is like a space. So you can see the three-dimensional of it, although it's on the paper. It's like a 2D, and the 3D is formula it's created by the viewer's eyes. So I think it's really important things. So it's called cosmos of thoughts. Yep. So some people said it's kind of like a star, but you know what? I use the straight line. You only use straight lines can express such like a huge like a precision things. So I think it's really interesting to explore in these kind of things. And after that, I creating different like a cosmos, like a universe. A lot. I spread in a different kind of philosophy things, and I get to here. I use the force line like a curve at the first time, and see how it works into my works. So, yeah. So you can see the three-dimensional like a river, like some people say it's like a slightly traditional, but actually for me it's like a memory for me to express. And after that, I have joined into the different museums, have solos in there. And after that, we have ability to creating our own my works in the studios. After that, we can have ability to have a different kinds of scales of solos all everywhere. So this is my solos in 2019, and different solos in Taiwan. So you can see this one is like a almost 7 meter wide and 2 meter high scenes. And that's how the drawings and started. I work very hard of it. Just like to express the thoughts of mine. So it's bring me here. It's called Art Taipei. It's the biggest art fair in Taiwan, in Taipei, and I luckily I got a place to show my works. It's like a 3 meter wide things. Yeah. So let me show you a short video about the work itself in Kaohsiung Fine Art Museum. So you can see my work sometimes is related to not only like a drawing things. Actually, it's trying to build a world, like try to creating the world by generative ways. So you can see when people can feel about the world a little bit, I think the cosmos of thoughts can happen in the viewer's eye and viewer's mind. I think it's really important for me. All right, let me take. And this one is really interesting. I got the opportunity to show my work in a gallery, and people starting to collect my work. But I like this photography for a lot because you can see the tree shadows, some kind of share the relationship with drawings, because my drawings is based from the theory called Fractal. So it's kind of like a relationship in the nature. So I think it's the way to have a conversation of it. And also I creating different kinds of drawings since that, and people are starting to collect my drawings after that. And also we do more and more although we're doing some more exhibitions, but actually we trying to do some like workshops. We're teaching people to drawings by the concept called Fractal series. So this is happening unique, and people are drawing like this. These are from children's. This I think is like 6 years old. This is 8 years old, and this is from grown up. They took like an hour and using 3 different kinds of thick black ink pen and 1 sheet of paper and finish it. And you can see the situation become professional now a little bit. He choose the fundamental element is like a smiling face and replicate, because the fractal is starting from like single line or single element and grow up into universe, right? So she choose the cats and become like a drawings and super professional one. And now we have Patricia works here. She choose to use dots, and she also use 1 hour, no more, to finish these drawings. These are made in France. I think although it's like I think the principle is quite similar. I mean, principle is simple, but in different cultures, you can see the same principle will show you a different results. I think it's really interesting. Let's go to the Shawn Liu Studio, which I started 2019. It's my visual consultant company. My original unconventional question is how to start from the one person to group of people. I mean, it's my office in Taiwan, in Kaohsiung, like 3 years before. It's super clean at that moment, since that is like a disaster after also. So to starting about the company is because I want to use my creations and try to collaborate with my applications. So it can creating like a loop. So we can use our knowledge in the creations and try to build a service for others. And when we see the others' work, may help the creations a little bit. So it kind of like an infinity loop after that. So for me, it's really important. I started from here, the south part of Taiwan. It's called South. I try to do that a little bit. And yeah, we do many different kinds of activities, like speaking, like talking, like a workshop, like exhibitions, like that. I began to win award, like do applications. So I have the ability to attend to different kinds of art fairs, like hotel ones or like expo ones. And I want you to see those really messy scenes, actually, because there's always a lot of reporter, but you never see from this perspective. Yeah, and I do opening. Luckily I got a supportive from the society, and also I become more than one person, because I think I take the responsibility of artists to make a better world a little bit. And yeah, tiring things, but lots of talking, touring, talking about art. And yeah, people are become better and better, and more. It's in the university in Taiwan, in Tainan. And after that, I found for myself I can do a better exhibitions, but I want to help my colleague to become the creator also. So these are my colleague's works. I do curation for him. It started from a really like a basement, like a photography works, and after that he become like a better and better, and become like he can run this kind of scale of the exhibition, and we just started. So we keep, although we are doing service for the society, but we are keeping the concept of a creator itself. And also we do the curation scenes for universities, and this one is it's kind of talking about the COVID times, but you can see a box. Actually, it's trying to have the mention like a box for deaf people. So yeah, it's trying to reflect in the time. So you use the curation as a tools to express the different things, and it's kind of like an open book. There's an upsend of the scenes. So this is the era we lost things, you know. We lost our friend, or sometimes we lost our time in quarantine, sometimes COVID, anything. So yeah, and also we do the curations for galleries, and yeah, this one we use the same galleries, and we work with 4 young artists, and use it's me. we have a same space with the different kinds of artists. So you can see they can use the space in different ways. This is the first one. He's like use the oil drawings mainly. This one is like a sculptor. It's the same space, but you can see the feeling of it's kind of like different. And also the like acrylic drawings, like drawings, and also like wood cut. Like he's thinking about to put the memory on the board, so he cut it, leave the mark of it, and become like drawings. So there are 4 really brilliant young 4 artists I have been working with, and after that I found I got the opportunity to represent some products. Can you imagine? I mean, this is the really important brand in like a professional monitor. It's called BenQ. It's really famous in the world, actually. I got the privilege to represent the monitor. But you guess what? There's more. I have the privilege to be a representative of makeups. I don't see why, but they choose me. But maybe it's related to architecture, because they think the face of a lady is kind of like a sculpture. It's like a space. So they ask for someone with talent in visual and collaborate with them. So it's a good memory of it. And after that, I have the privilege to go to Taiwan NASA. It's a national space center in Taiwan. And I found my knowledge seems really reflect to the technology they use in like a satellite. I think it's really dramatic impact for me. I mean, I think myself is like an artist and just do the drawings, right? but actually I have the knowledge with that. So it's really inspiring me. I can do better and try to go further. Yeah, well, we are approaching to the end. I'd like to share you a sentence. For me, it's quite important. The object of art is not to reproduce reality, but create a reality of the same intensity. For me, I use art like my method to make a world into a better place. And you can see the journey itself. When I arrive somewhere, I see do slightly better things. And I think in overall, if everyone doing that, then this world might be a better place. So yeah, that's my presentation in a really quick way. Thank you for everyone. Yeah, and yeah, if we have a Q&A. Yeah.
Merci beaucoup, Shawn. Je pense que nous avons eu ici une excellente présentation et je reste avec cette notion de hacker. Et je vous cède la parole. Je pense que ça a dû nous bouger un peu les neurones et les connexions. Cristobal.
Well, thank you, Shawn, for your presentation.
Yeah.
Congratulations for everything. Really, I like your practice a lot, and it's very interesting how you are like moving between architecture, digital art, photography. You're combining like many different fields. My question is, how do you relate your practice to a certain tradition of art and technology that exists already in Taiwan? That I'm sure that is like very well established. I don't know like about like Taiwan art history.
Yes.
Yes. History of contemporary art in Taiwan, but I'm sure that there are so many artists that in the past, probably since the 1920s,
Yes,
were working with technology, like as it happened in other places. But I would like to know more about like you inserted in certain, your practice inserted in certain tradition of that connects art and technology.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good question. I thought it before. I mean, for Taiwan, people can understand we have a really like advanced technology. We fabricate most of the chips in the world, maybe 70%. And to be honest, I think the culture is really not like established like a technology we are well known in the world. So I think for art, I think we need to try to make difference, because it used to be used like a Western point of view to do arts in before. Some people are starting like a fine art in Japan and do like a drawings, like a color landscape drawings in Japan, like Japan. And also some people are writing the Chinese characters with China like that. And I'm thinking about in this generation, what should we do? Which kind of role we should play? I mean, although Taiwan is well known by technology, should we use technology and go further a little bit? And people are thinking about technology is just like a tool, but I think it's kind of like a ally, like a friends, and we can go further. We can take advantage for also human being and also technology. So in my perspective, it's not like a really tool. It's kind of like a new friends, and for us to think about and to become like a new language to talk. And also, I think for Taiwanese, I think it's really important to say and take the advantage from like a technology side and into like a culture part. That's why I work really hard with that. Yeah.
Bon, on va remercier Shawn pour cette présentation.
Thank you for everyone.
Merci beaucoup, et je me permets de vous inviter prendre un verre au club de notre institut. donc au premier étage. Merci beaucoup.